Welcome to another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show. And we are continuing our series of the 13 Shining Stars of the World book. You've had the opportunity to meet, some of the exceptional co-author the last 2 weeks. And today is the last day to get to know those exceptional people who are sharing their story and are making a difference in the world. So wherever you're watching, welcome to this show. And let us know if you're watching live. Let us know where you're watching from. We will, encourage you to participate and to ask questions, because I think this book is going to change the world, like I mentioned before. And this is a book that is traveling all over the world, because we have people from different parts of the world, people who have different stories, people who have different background. And I think one of the people that you've been able to meet, and the one that you're going to meet today, probably resonate with you, and you can connect with them if you want to have more about their stories. So we're going to start. I'm going to bring them here so that you get the opportunity to know them and to know their story, and how they intend to change your life, because this book will change your life. So get ready. We're going to have a great conversation. Another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show that is brought to you by the Birai Telekima Global Leadership Organization.
Real is important is, if you just look at the word compassion, it's behavior. It's something that can be learned, and it is something that we can embody through habits and through our daily actions.
To get this idea that if we interject this wisdom intentionally, I call them needle movers. It's the needle mover that's missing.
Don't deprive the world of your greatness. Please. Don't do that anymore. Dare to excel, dare to be sexy, dare to be you, dare to be the best version of yourself. Impact yourself positively, and from there impact others. And you are not alone. So welcome to everyone. Today we are having Shining Stars again, and it's going to shine bright on the Greatness Engineering Hour show. And we have some amazing co-authors, one from Portugal, another one from Peru, another one from Pakistan. As you can see, it is multicultural and coming from all over the place. But before we start our conversation, to really know what they are sharing in the book, I just want them to introduce themselves, to let us know who they are
and then we can, have a little bit more insight on what they are talking about in the book and how they tend to actually change the world through this book. So I'm going to start with you, Rana. Let us know, who you are and what people need to know about you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Marilee. This is Rana Ali Zuhaib. I am a journalist, I am a writer and author as well from Pakistan. So I started my professional career as a journalist past in 2010 when I passed my graduation from the Punjab University of Pakistan. So basically, I am an investigative journalist. I write the stories on investigation based stories. I always file, or I always like to work on work for the betterment, for the tourism, for the peace, and for the betterment of my country and the better relations of my country with the other countries. So particularly my work is on Pakistan and India relations. I worked a lot for Pakistan and India, and nowadays I am also writing a book, a novel. By profession, I am like an open book. Everyone knows me, that what I work here in Pakistan and what are my aims. So it is very easy to know me through in this the book 30 Shining Stars of the World. Actually, my life and my from beginning to till date, the all story is written in that book, so people can know me more betterly through this book. So I am very confident. I urge the youth basically to read our story, to read the all stories in this book, so that the people and the youth should motivate, and the people should not give up. Actually, my aim or my the purpose of my story and what we can say that the purpose behind to write this story is never give up at any cost. You should never give up at any cost. So there are so many ups and downs in my life. So I never, when my family pressurized me to quit the journalism, to quit the field. So, but I realized, and I feel determined. So I never quit, and I am happy with that.
Fantastic. And that's really the story, is that, we should never, never, ever give up, because it's important to stick to, what we really want to do. And that's the best way for us to make an impact. What about you, Isabel? What do people, what do you want to share with people about you? And who are you, in a way? Let us know.
Okay, thank you. Nice to meet you. My name is Isabel Fiafilio. I'm from Peru, and I welcome to Latin America. And I'm happy to contribute in this book. And it's a pleasure to know these people, Rana, Mirel, and Isilda, because and I happy to share the opportunity to people who are the other continents, the other cultures, and I'm happy to stay here. I would like to share about my experience, about my career. And I am economist, and I studied at San Marcos University, and it's the most important university in Peru, in the Valle State. And I experience about the planning, and I work now in the government. I have different experience in the government, especially in education. I would like to share about my it's not only my experience uh, about my career or my job, because I think that my story to share in this book important, because in the chapter talks I talk I read about my story from my childhood to what am I doing now. I think that is a one recounting of a story, and finding the motivation and why I am here, and I was the vision of where I want to go. And I think that this book gives the opportunity to get to know stories of people from all over the world, and I think it's curious, very curious, because the name of the book is Paris, Shining Star of the World, and is my age. It's approximately.
Mm-hmm.
I entered I think it's an opportunity to enter to this step and this space to contribute. And for me, it's a very curious, and I think that is have the opportunity to not only write my story. I think that is only have a group of people that have a different motivation, and I think that is a good mission for the future.
Yes, it's definitely a good motivation for, for the people, for the riders. And, I'm one of the person who think that, when you can see it and hear it, you can actually believe it. So by, sharing those stories and sharing those, tools and strategies that you've used to become the person that you are going to make an impact to the youth or to anybody that's going to be able to read this book. So I want to hear from you, Isilda. So what is, what do you want to share with people? Who are you? And what is, the key message for your chapter? I can't hear you. I think you're muted. Isilda, you're muted. We can't hear you. Isilda, you are muted.
I'm sorry.
Okay, all right, yeah. So welcome, the floor is yours.
Greetings from Portugal. First of all, I would like to thank Mirelo Tolakima for the invitation that honors me so much. I congratulate PRACI GUPTA too for her excellent work. I am a Portuguese artist plastic, poet and writer who won numerous awards and recognitions. I'm the co-author of numerous anthologies and the author of books and poetry and prose. My poems have been published in numerous languages in about 50 countries in all continents. I have participated in book fairs, literary festivals, and in radio and television programs. I have organized literary, cultural, and solidarity events at national and international level. I am part of the board of directors of several cultural movements, both nationally and internationally, and among other positions, I am founder and president of the Association of the World Union of Writers and Artists, the chairperson of the Language, Literature and Oratory Arts Committee of Modern Pythian Games, and President Pythian Games Portugal. And more.
Quite a lot. That's good.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So we'll get to know your poet, and you've been, you've been writing for a while, and your artistic, skills have been, recognized all over the world. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm going to go back to you, Rana, because I know you've already started to talk about what you really expect from this book. And so what I really want to know is, when people take your chapter, what do you think is the key message that you want them to, to get? And how do you think it's going to be able to impact their life?
Thank you, Marilee. As I said earlier, that I think, and my basically the purpose of writing my story is to motivate the youth that they should never ever give up. They should determine on their purpose, so that they can be successful in their life. So actually, my story is about myself. Actually, before I wrote in my story that almost 6 to 7 years ago, I was physically attacked and I was forced to quit the journalism, to quit the investigation, and to quit the investigative journalism. So unfortunately, this usually happens in Pakistan and India and Bangladesh and so other Asian countries. So the general you will know you should know that a few days ago, the main esteemed journalist, a well-known journalist, Arshad Sharif, was shot dead in Kenya. He was a Pakistani journalist and reside in Kenya. So unfortunately, this is a very bad thing here in Pakistan, that a person or a journalist who work with passion, who work with the reality, who dig up the realities basically. So the parties and the government as well became against him or her, became against the journalist. So I basically I am the culprit of that. Sorry, I am the victim of that. We can say that I am a victim of that that situation. So when I was in that situation, my family pressurized me, my friends told me, my colleagues and my teachers told me that you should quit your journalism and you should work another, you should find out another way, another job for yourself. So journalism is my passion. So I never quit. I continued my work, and today I am sitting before you as well. So I am featured in the best book, 30 Shining Stars of the World. So basically, after reading my chapter, I think that the youth will be motivated. They will get a lesson that in any circumstances you should never give up. You should continue their journey. You should continue your journey. You should continue your hard work, and you should never ever quit your track as well. If you want to do something in a unique way, you should go for that. Don't think it's a result. Just do your best. The result will be best if you will do your best. So my message is this, that you should never ever quit in any circumstances, and you should focus on that which you want to do.
And it's a powerful message, especially now that, you know, and you mentioned the challenges that you're going through in Pakistan, but, you know, there are so many challenges that we have to go through in different, you know, in different environment. And sometimes the solution is always, you know, to want to quit. And it's important, you know, with a story like yours, such a powerful story, to share and to encourage people to never give up, to never quit, and to always, you know, give their best, to be able to do what they're passionate about, and to be able to do what is right. And so thank you for that. So Isabel, same question to you, you know, what do you really want the readers who are going to buy this book and read it?
Sorry, Marily, Marily, I just want I just want to say sorry to you, as I mentioned before, that I have to leave to look after my father in hospital. He is in hospital, so I think you will forgive me for this.
It's all right. It's all right. We got the message. I think it's and just let us know how people can connect with you if they, you know, if they want to have more information about your chapter or more information about what you do. And then we'll just, you know, have you go and, you know, assist your dad, obviously.
Yes, definitely. Anyone who can connect me can send me email on alizohaib939@gmail.com. ALIZOHAIB alizohaib939@gmail.com. I will share with you, and you can put my email ID and contact number in the description of this show. So if anyone want to connect me, anyone want information, anyone want to publish anything, as you know, I am an editor-in-chief of RAS TV, the digital media group of Pakistan. So if anyone who is watching this show, or anyone who is with us in the panel panelists, if they want to publish anything here in Pakistan, they can send me through WhatsApp, through email, through Messenger, any platform which they can use to send me their contact, and I will be humbled to publish here in Pakistan on my digital digital platform raztv.net.
Fantastic. So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to have you. And for those who are watching, if you want to connect, Rana just shared how to connect with him. There's definitely more to know about his story, to know about him. So make sure you connect with him. So thank you, Rana. And we'll be in touch anyway. So just wanted to ask now you, Isabel, about your chapter, and what do you think will be, the best, the message, the key message that you want people to take from this chapter, and and from when they read, your chapter.
Okay. So in relation to my story, and what I want to comment to people or transmit to the messages, I would like to start with these sentences, which I found reading in some places. If you don't live to serve, you are not good to live. I think that these important phrases, in this case, these phrases that has been in my mind for a long time. I like to write poetry. I love write poetry, different poetry, but I always expressing my experience. But I never threw about writing something about me, and that seems to me something beautiful. To see myself in a book also motivates me to see what I becoming special for the experience that I am acquiring. I would like to stress my story is very similar to others, to young people who have only one chance to go to university, and that at the beginning we have different difficulty in special it's possible to economy difficulties, but in other, but we are making an effort and taking of challenge for life. And I shared with one of the line about my chapter is about I want to continue experience young people, and we all have a story to tell, and that the most important thing is that despite circumstance, we must be resilient, thinking that every action is having an impact on someone else. I think that is yes, and I share these messages and with different people, in special young people.
And it's important, especially for the youth, to have those kind of message, to understand that whatever action they take and whatever word they speak, it has an impact on someone in their environment, not only on themselves but also on people around them. So they have to be really careful about how they communicate, how they use certain words, and how they connect with people, because that's actually going to be essential for them to succeed or to fail. It's they have to choose, and that's important that they read this kind of the story, like a story like yours, and get advice from you and your own experience, so that they can empower themselves to be able to communicate better. So Isilda, what is for you, your chapter, what is your chapter about, and what is the key message you really want people to take from this chapter?
Forgive my bad English. I hope you understand. My chapter is about my own story, impregnated by social values. When I was still young, I embraced voluntary work and took part in literacy projects for adults, giving training. For a large part of the world, living beings have color, race, and religion. For me, they don't. In this context, I met a young man. I fell in love and got pregnant. the only solution, escape, as a defense against an overly conservative community on both. Whether we like it or not, there are gulfs between different cultures, habits and patterns tattooed on skin, difficult to remove. But everything is right at the right time, if we consider that everything is learning. I think into a society essentially fundamentalist, where the woman is a lesser being, an object for the use for men. I lived for years Isilda from myself. I stopped being annulling myself. However, from 1996 onwards, something changed my life. I was erased ostensibly by a series of paranormal experiences. The need to understand these events and to nurture the enormous emptiness that exists in me catalyzed an intense investigation in psychology, astrology, mythology, parapsychology, and other areas where I drank the knowledge and philosophies that founded the truth that I have been building since then. Yes.
Go ahead, continue.
I literally divided in the world of the books, searching self-knowledge, indispensable engine of the trip that I would initiate, my own journey. I would have to become the heroine of my own story, such pot child I left at the edge of the past.
Yeah, so it's I could get what you're talking about. It's really a powerful message about diversity and different cultures come together and building on your own story of meeting people from different background, from different culture, starting with your relationship with your then boyfriend and all the challenges of different cultures trying to come together. And I think that's something that is of actuality when, everything is now global. So we're dealing with different type of people, we're mingling with different type of people. So this cultural intelligence is very important. And what you're sharing is going to be very empowering, especially for young people, as they navigate from one culture to another. So thank you very much. We're gonna have a break, and we will be back to continue this conversation on the book. And for those joining us, we're talking about the 30 Shining Stars of the World, which is a newly published book. And as you can imagine, we have 30 amazing authors sharing their stories, sharing their experience, and inspiring people around the world. So don't go anywhere. We will have a break, and we will be back with Isilda and Isabel.
Best-selling author of 5 books, a motivational speaker, founder of Hurdle Books, and also the state woman president of a political party in India. I basically work towards women empowerment, and this is what the idea and struggle brought me to give you all 30 shining stars, the 30 wonderful people of this world.
That when you have a strong willingness to do something and a strong desire, there is no impossible way. There is just a harder way to achieve something. And I want to share them, to show them actually that Even I was a refugee, I do suffered panic attacks, agoraphobia, I was housebound. There is always a possibility to make something if you are willing to learn and educate yourself.
Sometimes it needs the right people to just give you a nod, and sometimes it needs a book where you see from 30 different angles that no matter where the roadblocks are, you can overcome them in different ways. And this is, I think, very inspiring.
Don't give up, just believe in yourself and work hard, and you'll get to whatever you want. And I think this will it's gonna inspire others and motivate them to learn from our stories, like what we did, and just do what they like and what they wanna reach. They can just do it.
I believe that this book has really a transformative power. It can transform human lives, and especially the lives of youth, because it can help young people to set goals, to realize that they have limited opportunities and options, to help them instill self-determination, self-belief, confidence. I think that this book is a kind of mentorship, especially for young people. Supporting the youth through this book with constructive motivation, this could brighten their future perspectives and offer hope even to hopeless.
It's all about second chances, starting over, not giving up. So I want readers, everyone out there, to not be disheartened, because I've seen a lot of youngsters giving up their life on failures, and just like young kids have seen going for suicide and just ending their life. I want them to just learn from these great 30 people that life is not small, it is huge. They build it, you can build it, and everyone can build it. So just read this book, their stories, and learn from them what they did. Every 30 of them have struggled in their life. They didn't have a rosy life. Everyone struggled, and today they are a star. So every reader can be a star like them. So I want them to be inspired from these 30 people.
So we are back. Everyone can be a star, and I encourage you to read. To get your book. It's available on Amazon. You can get your latest copy and get to know all those authors. Get to know their stories. Get to know how they managed to go from the brinks to success, and how they're now empowering people around the world. So make sure you get your copy, and make sure you get inspired by, people all over the world. So we have today with us, two of the shining stars, so Isabel and Isilda. And one thing that I really want to ask you, you two, is, what do you think this book is gonna create, and not only, for you, but also for people in your environment? How do you think this book will be received? And I'll start with you, Isabel.
Okay, thank you for the question. In my case, I consider two options. For example, when I received the opportunity to contribute in this book, and I consider what story about me is possible to share, and in special because I have a different experience in experience about my job, about my life, about my friends, and family, etc. And I consider a focus about my experience, about my, in special, in relation with my job and my personal life, because I think that is a walk too difficult in different opportunities. But I would consider that the first word, motivation and resilience, because it is the one of the word about the title of my chapter. because I consider this is a motivation with that I need to share with other young people in different situations. And I have the decision to write about this. And in the second option, what is about the lectures or what the people buy the different book, because this is my first perspective about me. But what happened about the different people that buy the book, and what is the messages that receive these people. And I think that because I final my chapter about that. For example, that my story continue, because I think that it's not finally, and I think this is the same situation about 13 people that write in the book, and with the possibility to share and to change the different possibility to continue the story, because I think that is a first part of the initial option to share my story, but I don't know if that continue in the future. But I think yes, and I believe that it's important to consider the principal word, resilience. And I don't know if the my future. I don't know if the in more 10 or 20 years. I don't know, but I think it's important to continue the same work and consider the motivation. In my case, I think that is principal motivation is my family, because, and I consider these messages for me, because I read in sometimes or for example the book, and I think that is one element to recognize the resilience and recognize what happened about me. And I think that is a second motivation for a long time. Thank you.
Fantastic, and that's really important. The resilience and the motivation. The young generation need this motivation and understand that resilience is really a tool for any situation they're gonna have to face, any obstacle that they're gonna have to to face in their life. And just reading, how someone like you have been able to navigate and really go through, it's gonna just give them the inspiration and the belief that they can also do it. And so it is important to share that. So what about you, Iselda? You know, what do you think this book, is gonna create? And not only for you, but for people around you, or people in your community, or people in your country. What do you think it's this effect that the book is going to create?
The stories in this anthology can catalyze the reader's process of evolution. Like us, is also simultaneously the director and main actor of their own life. Therefore, he has the power to rewrite his script, deconstructing beliefs and replacing habits and patterns that block and sabotage his evolutionary process. If I can use my story to encourage someone else's process, I will be very happy. It is a sign that everything was worthwhile. These are my expectations in relation to this anthology.
And like you said, it's there's a need to deconstruct, some
Yes.
of the pattern that we have and some of the belief that we have, and and people use different tools, but here this book can be one of these tools to help people to deconstruct, their what they have in their head, and really, go through and be empowered, because that's really what it's all about. Be empowered and create, a positive impact in the world. And what one thing that I've always wanted to know as well is, how do you think this book is helping your purpose? How do you think this book is helping your purpose, or how do you think this book is helping you do something that you really wanted to do? And I really want to hear about you on that, Isabel.
Okay, I think when I read this book or some chapters, and I share about what is the belief about the different writers, and I think that is the objective of the book, or is helping to all young people in different situation, because I'm interested in this book because independent of the different experience or the different age of the writer, I think that is I ensure more between girls and boys writers, and is that focus in gender equal. And I think that it's not only share about the experience or because it's important, yes, but what's the motivation, or what is the motivation independent of the writer? Because I think that is in some in different situations have different problems. And what happened about for example, for example, when I have a problem, and I do not what happened about me. I think that is a story of, they said in helping different people, in not only in experience on a labor or their job. I think that it's consider the belief, the different motivation for create other opportunities, because I think that I have one opportunity to write. Okay, I have different opportunity to job, to have that different family or different friends. But what happened about in other situation when I don't know it's possible to come with the family or the friends. I think that is important to consider great other energy, because I think that the resilience is energy. What happened about different people. And I finally, I think that is when I read this different history in this book, and I helping me for have the different opportunity to the vision of the future, or it's important to have other vision about the life. I think that's important to me and other people. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's like you said, it's important to see other people's perspective, and it's another way to empower ourselves. And this connection and this bond that we create, as co-authors, is also very, very good. Not only for us to, to continue together to spread this message of empowerment and resilience and determination that you mentioned, but also for yourself, to empower yourself and keep, building your strength as you continue to lead in your own sector. So thank you, Isabel, for that. What about you, Isilda? What do you think what do you think this book will bring to you, or to your environment? What's going to be the impact that you foresee with this book?
We all have a hero inside us. Who one day will wake up and will be encouraged to search for his own treasure, his own essence. Every detail of his path is essential, and everything has a reason for being. No, I paraphrase Socrates, know yourself.
And that's such a powerful statement. Thank you for bringing it up. So we get with all of that, with all this wisdom and all those powerful message. We're gonna have another break, and then we'll be back to close out with you two, and then we're gonna have another set, other shining stars. We're going to go to California to have all our shining stars from California to come and, grace this platform and talk about, the book and what they're sharing in the book. So don't go anywhere. We will be back after this short break.
Message through the story is that what I have experienced is that when you open up with all authenticity, with all honesty, with all humility, the purpose finds you. Through your talents, through your skill sets, through your performing attributes, your abilities, your capabilities, it is all of this when forms in amalgamation. The purpose comes forth to surface in your life and for you to utilize it and put it into action.
I think my story will motivate the young generation to stay a positive and vital for the betterment of society. And my life story will teach you about how you can survive in unfavorable conditions and circumstances, how belief system and honesty is important to live a successful life, and how to achieve your goals and helping others.
Life is not easy for anyone. We all have good and bad life experience, but I have always had a great spirit of strength that has helped me, and I have never stopped studying, preparing myself, and I like to try new paths that allow me to continue growing in my personal and professional life path. I'm very, very happy to be part of this wonderful book.
For me, it's very important and appeals to every young individual all over the world to start their journey of greatness, because we all have this potential inside of us. We have the greatness inside of us, but if we don't start the journey of engaging our greatness, we'll not become what we want to, we'll not achieve what we want to achieve. So the chapter is all about starting your journey. Take on, a bold step to develop your potential. Take on a bold step to sharpen your talent. Take on a bold step to pursue your dream, because the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. So if you can start your journey of achieving greatness, you will see that there's so much to fulfill. There's so much to achieve.
Whatever the circumstances is, whatever the troubles are, whatever the scenarios are, if you have a proper faith in yourself, if you have a pure soul in your heart, and if you have a good hope, positive hope, and if you are optimistic, then believe me, you can achieve any of your goals, you can target any of the diets, and you can build up a better future for yourself. But there are only the two most important keys, that if you have hope, that only you will be able to go towards any scenarios, any circumstances, and any troubles.
Anyone who picks this book should be able to get inspiration, should be able to get something out from the book that will revive the person, that will empower the person. So I see this project to be something that will help a lot of young people, and I commend all the shining stars for sharing their stories to empower other people.
So get your copy. It's on Amazon. The Furthest Shining Star of the World by PRACI, GUPTA, the visionary. And behind this vision, there are, 30 stars who are sharing their stories and helping you to, and really want to change your life through this story the story that they are sharing. So thank you. So we are back, and we have one of our shining stars from California joining us. But before I get to introduce her, I just want to have the last word from Isabel and Isilda before they leave the platform. So Isabel, what is the last word to people who are listening right now before you leave the platform of the Greatness Engineering Hour show?
Okay. I think that these phrases, the people writing this book, and I think that is about they are real stories and are stories that inspire. I think that this is important phrase because since I write a different story, I think that imagine about me, for example, when I write, when I start to write, what about me, and I construction the different ideas, and I when the objective is create I don't know, it's perfect plan, the perfect story, but the story that inspire young people. Finally, to my contribute in this book, or for share my experience or share my motivation, is when I happen about in some times in different spaces or in different organizations, or when people participate, and I have that different question: what about me? What happened about other people? What's my objective for me, or what is my objective here, or what opportunity to share with other people? I think that is in some times, in some spaces, it's important to have the different question and question, and walk along the life.
Fantastic. So thank you so much. How do people connect with you if they want to know a little bit more about your work and your story? Isabel, how do people connect with you if they want to know more about your story or the work that you're doing?
Okay. I think that, for example, and I live with my family, and I live when I share different experience with my different friends, and yes, and I think that when I create this feeling in different things, I think that is a motivate to me or to other people. And when I, for example, write my poems, and I the option to transmit my messages about me when other people, and I think that this is the same situation about this book. In additional, in this book is create, for example, is the opportunity to create a long stories, but what the finally of the objective is create one thing, uh, or one word, what is the resilient, and create opportunities to all people. I think that is fine.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for being with us today. And it has been a pleasure to get to know you and to share, for you to share your story with us. And we are having two of our co-authors in California right now. We have Kaanchan from California and Queen Corazon as well with us. So I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself to the audience and let us know who you are, and anything that you feel like we should share, you want to share with the audience. And I'll start with Kaanchan on that. Welcome, Kaanchan, to the Greatness Engineering Hour show.
Thank you so much for having me. And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the time you all have. You are all very, very nice people, very kind people. And thank you to the host. And thank you, PRACI GUPTA, for having me in the book. This book is, I adore this book and I love this book. Um, so, my name is Kaanchan S Farkiya. I'm Miss WorldClass Ms USA, and I'm an editor-in-chief of WorldClass India Fashion Magazine and WorldClass India Model Magazine as well. I'm educator as well, and I like to write. So, yes.
Fantastic. So welcome, welcome. And so I'm going to go to Queen Corazon. Queen Corazon, welcome to the Greatness Engineering Hour show all the way from California.
Yes, hello everyone. It's morning here, so good morning to everyone. And it's really a pleasure to be in your show and grateful I'm looking forward to talking to you and everyone else.
Fantastic.
So I just want to say that I'm the World Class Beauty Queens USA ambassador and World Class Legend, World Class Beauty Queens Woman of the Year, Miss Asia International, Mrs. Asia Glamour, Miss Asia France International. So I'm also an author and philanthropist and model. So thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for being with us, and thank you for being one of the shining stars in this beautiful book that came to us through the vision of PRACI GUPTA. And one question that I have for you is to know what your chapter is all about, and what is the key message that you want the readers to take from your chapter. And I'll start with you, Kaanchan, on that.
Thank you so much. You will find my chapter is chapter 12. It is all about my story, and there are so many things that has not mentioned in the story, but there is a deep story that I always love my family, and I believe in working hard and live my passion. Doesn't matter wherever you are in your age, because for me, you have every day to live. And then I always think we have to always inspire the young generation, especially nowadays people have lots of negative thoughts. So when you change your thoughts, remember always you are changing the world. So if one person is doing something good, it means you are one of the small part in the world, but you are making a difference. There are several things that we can do that we want to change our thoughts. So in my book, I have my inspiration, my father, who has passed away 2 years ago. So his inspiration, his thought is like keep telling me to work hard, don't get depressed and don't have any negative thoughts. So that's how I learn, and I want to give message to every youth that always there is a positive side, always think in that way. So first thing is to notice the thought that first is when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself and say like, oh, this is an excellent day, and then I'm doing whatever you are feeling is, you are depressed or you're not ready to go, but just show up, just do it, because you are never ready to do anything in your life. Yeah, because I'm not ready every day, but you have to think in the positive way and keep going. So if you have any negative thoughts like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, or I cannot do it, I'm not ready for that interview, or I'm not ready for in the class, I'm not able to learn, I have some learning disabilities. But you know what, you have some power, you have something inside you, you need to find and recognize it. And what I do is I keep myself me time, kind of like you can say meditation, self time, realize and re-evaluate yourself. So that's how I build my self-esteem and think that the things that I like about myself. So it's not about some people are special or you have a specialty. Everyone has some kind of a speciality, and you have a strength. You just have to find that strength.
Fantastic. And that's what this show is all about, where we recognize that, we all have greatness inside of us, but now the difference is to identify this greatness and to unleash it. And, and we need, stories and books like that to actually trigger this process, because sometimes it doesn't come naturally. So thank you for sharing that. What about you, Queen Corazon? What is your chapter about, and what is the key message you really want the readers to take from it?
Well, yes, first of all, I would like to thank, of course, the 30 Shining Stars of the World. It's PRACI GUPTA, to be one of the authors of this beautiful book. And basically, it's about my life story. And I was born and raised in the Philippines. My father was a brigadier general in Philippine Air Force. My mother was a housewife. And growing up, they always instilled in us to be the best that you can be, because really we only have one life, right? So growing up, I always try to do the best that I can. And then, I use my platform as a beauty queen and model. And I also get involved in the community, to do some charity works and be involved in the different charity works. And also, being a model and a beauty queen is not just wearing your crown on the head, but you always have it in your heart. So for me, it's wonderful that I know that I can be a role model and inspiration for, young models or beauty queens who want to be there. And, I would like to help them and guide them if I can. And so I'm always involved again in the community. And because, it matters when you're involved, and every time you can help somebody, that's a wonderful thing. And for me, it's not just to say, oh, yeah, you're a shining star. But again, it's what you do and what you feel. And of course, being positive. And I believe in women empowerment, because for women, we should have more opportunities and be positive there. And again, be a role model. So that's basically, what I wrote about my book. So,
And sometimes we women don't understand the power that we have, and it's important that we are reminded in a way that we are very powerful, and it's important that we believe in ourselves. It's important that we understand this greatness and this power that we have, and how we can make the life of people better using this power that we have. So we're gonna have a break, and we will be back with Corazon, and understand a little bit more about how this book, how you think the book is gonna impact community and Kaanchan as well. So don't go anywhere. We'll have a break, and we'll be back to continue this conversation with the shining stars of the world. Don't go anywhere.
Recognize again Janelle Harris. I'm part of the She Exists platform, and that's designed really to elevate women in the communities and highlight them that have done some phenomenal things. And maybe they have, had a dip, had to overcome some things. And Janelle is here to raise you up. She's a phenomenal woman. She gives it from her heart. So she started this She Exists platform to show that, women have voices. And that just went so well that she decided to come up with a magazine. This is her first magazine. She's very excited. I'm honored to grace the cover of one of the magazines, and Growing Ageless. And we've put a lot of work into this. There are going to be several, I think 5 or 6 other covers there. And we're going to do an
Yes, we're going to shout out to one of our supporter in the show, the She Exists team, supporting our show here. And there's, there's a new magazine coming out, and it is all over the place, even in, Broadway. So go and get a copy and read this magazine. There's also a piece on the Greatness Engineering Hour show. So don't hesitate to go and get your copy. But today we are here for the 30 shining stars of the world, and we are, talking to some of our shining stars who are based in California. And one question that I have for you, and Corazon and Kaanchan, is to let us know what you think this book is gonna do. Either for for you or for the community. How do you think this book is going to impact the world or anybody? I'll start with you, Kaanchan.
Thank you for asking this question. In this book, I mentioned about a lot of my community services that can inspire people, because I think kindness makes the world a better place. Because whenever I go outside and I see there are so many homeless people around the world. So poor people is not like one certain place, it's everywhere. And then that I always think like an act of kindness can uplift your spirit in so many ways. So when I work for someone, I feel good, I feel happy, and as does being compassionate, generous, and considerate. So I have been keep doing it since many years. It's been like 10 years here in US, keep doing that. And then, but from a childhood, it is always, I was like, I don't know, the kindness came inside me, and then empathy was there because of my father. My father has been my role model, and he has always, because of his influence, made me empathetic person. So being kind is all about your genuine intention to help everyone around you, around your community, to feel people safe and comfortable and understood. So in my story, uh, whatever I have been doing it's all because of my heart, because I want to give, I want to help as much as I can. I'm always pray to God that God made me that kind of person, so I can reach out to more people and help more people around in my capacity. So it's about giving without expecting anything in return. So the key is to recognize the need around you. So whenever you are in the world, you will find someone that you can help. Still, you are, whatever the age you are a child, you are middle schooler, high schooler, college going adult, anyone. You just have a act of kindness. You can help in your office. You can help anyone. So that, I think that's one of the happiness and I always enjoy, and I want to tell everyone to just keep doing this kind of kindness, because we need kindness in this world.
We definitely need kindness in this world, and like you mentioned, this book is really to reach out to those who need it. Sometimes we underestimate the need that people in the world, in our community, have. And it's just, sometimes just a simple anthology like this one that can actually make a difference or trigger a change in whatever, circumstances that they have to face. So, Queen Corazon wanted also to know, what do you think this anthology can do? And how do you think it's going to change, change the world or change, the life of, people in your community?
Yes, I think first of all, congratulations to all the authors because they have wonderful stories, personal stories to inspire people. And so, I have traveled the world, 100 countries in the world. So I have met so many people in different continents and also, enjoyed their culture. And again, the most important thing is, communication, love, and also kindness. And, with us, especially women, there are still some countries in the world that women do not have the voice, to speak out. And again, that's why I emphasize on women empowerment. And I hope I can be one of that voice, to speak for them. Because I'm also involved in one of the charity here. It's called the Lighthouse Organization, and it's to prevent abuse, with women. So I think that's very important, to have a shelter and to be an inspiration, because maybe there are some people who are in need or depressed. So I think this book will help them, and inspire them to do good and to do better and to rise, where they are, because there are a lot of help now, with different organization if you need help, but they just don't know how to go about it. So I think it's important that we reach out to people, and the book will inspire people, whether you're young or old. And it's nice that, they have something that maybe there's one story that's similar to them and that will inspire them. So I'm happy that I'm part of this book and to reach out to, so many countries and so many women.
Fantastic. And yes, a powerful anthology, and with people with different walk of life and from different background, cultural and, intellectual, and, the philosophy as well. So it is really a powerful book representing every single person. And we have another shining stars for California here. Shelley, welcome to the Greatness Engineering Hour show. I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself, let us know who you are, and maybe, touch a little bit on, what your chapter is all about. So the floor is yours, Shelley. We can't hear you. Okay, go
There
ahead.
we are. Hello. Hi, everybody from all around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're tuning in from. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Shyla Day, and I am just so grateful to be a part of this collection of amazing authors from all around the world, just to inspire and empower others. My chapter is about second chances. So the premise behind my chapter was I was in a car accident, unfortunately, and it left me unable to walk for 2 weeks. And this actually happened my last year of college. So I was put a fork in the road, and I had a choice. I could either continue with my education and see what comes next, or I could, take a break or just all out quit. And I truly believe that what you do with your situations, with your limitations, with what God throws at you, really, really makes a difference in your life. It can make a positive impact or it can make a negative impact. So what I did is I I continued forward, and lo and behold, I was able to go to Harvard and I was able to go to Yale to complete my studies. So that's about the general idea of the book. I do recommend that you read it. There are so many other beautiful stories for you to read and hopefully to take some motivation and inspiration from. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and one question that I also wanted to ask you, since you've just joined, is how do you think this book will impact people? The full anthology, like you mentioned, there are so many powerful stories in the book. So what do you see? How do you see this book, impacting the world?
Well, initially, my thoughts are that by reading stories that you're relating to, you'll hopefully gain an inspiration and motivation to continue on. That's my hope, and I pray that everybody who reads the book takes something that they relate to and applies it and implements it into their lives.
Fantastic. So thank you for sharing this. We're going to have another break and we'll be back to basically have your last word on this book and this anthology, which is really traveling the world and being, being spread, to different community. The book is in English. It's been, it's now available in Hindi. It's going to be available in Mandarin. And then, yes, I'm proposing to have it in French as well. So I think it's not going to stop there. We're going to be able to, to translate this book in every single language. But for the time being, let's have a break and be back after this short commercial.
Même si le salsa ta vaille la peine. Elle est super, moi elle super, supporter.
We are back with the Shining Stars, and it is the last show with the stars, but you always have the opportunity to get the book, to get to know the 30 stars and their stories. It's available on Amazon, and you just get your copy, and it's gonna change your world. And just to to continue and to basically close out on this show, just wanted to ask you, what is the thing that you really want to do and you think that the book will help you or will emphasize in a way? And I'll start with you, Kaanchan.
Thank you so much for asking this question. So I always think because every human life is a work of art, and you have a purpose, because we are not here without any purpose. You have your self-portrait, and we are capable of making our life by ourselves, and it does not matter what our current age and our state of health is. So with this book, I can say that combining all of the stories, the 30 shining stars, uh, it's full of inspiration. And as many people say that this is maybe some of the incident is related to your life, and I believe that we are born with a purpose, and everybody in this book, I saw they are doing a great work in the community. And I just want to say that you are a person you can truly make a difference in our society, regardless of the religion, society, ethnicity, country, and to leave an impact on this world, and to leave behind something that can make our next generation, their future, a little brighter. You can do something for the young generation, and that is this book is saying. And at the same time, I would like to be the catalyst for something that can be something, make a difference in someone's life. And I think whatever your goal is, at the end of the day, you have to be inspirational at the end, in the life, wherever you are. The thought that propels me to as a higher principle of my life, no matter what your life journey has thrown you, um, wherever you have question of your self-worth, you always find a purpose, and you always think like, okay, I want to remember that no other person but only you can define your own future. So with this book, you have so many inspirational story. So don't have any self-doubt, and always willing to help people. And I want every person's ability to thrive, recognize their strength, and become the best version of themselves.
Fantastic. And that's really what it's all about, becoming the best version of yourself. We all have a gift, and don't underestimate the power that you have. You can change things, whatever the challenge that you're facing, you can change things. So believe in yourself. So what about you, Corazon? What is, what do you think, is this book will help you to do, or will amplify, in whatever you are already doing, in your life, your personal life or professional life?
Yes, and of course, thank you again for being in your show. And I want to congratulate all the authors of the 30 Shining Stars of the World, because it gives inspiration to many women. And for me, it's like, I believe in God. Like, believe in something, have faith, because that will help people rise from where they are, and to have an inspiration. So I'm glad that with this book, so many women maybe can relate to their story. And so again, it's important to have some connection and communication also if you need help. And for me, just doing community work or be involved with people and have the inspiration, that will help a lot. And also, to leave a legacy, with the world. If you will only hear, again, one time, live life the fullest, because there's so many things that we can do in the world, and to help people and inspire people. So again, thank you. And I think I want to congratulate everyone again.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your inspiration, and for being part of the stars and sharing your story and your message. Thank you very much. I have Isilda. You didn't have the opportunity to tell us, about what do you think this book will help you to do, and and how do you think you're going to use it, to change the world. We Okay, all right. I lost her. Okay, not a problem. I lost her. So I'm gonna ask Sheila the same question. How do you think, this book will help you in whatever you're doing so far? You have to unmute yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So, what's really inspiring about this book is that this is 30 professionals, 30 people who are serving the world in their own personal way. I think that each of us have a very unconventional way of living, you might say, and by doing this, we inspire others to also live out through their passions as well. And with these stories, we inspire everybody in so many different languages so far, and I just can't wait to see what's next.
Fantastic, and it's really, it's really the beginning, I think, for this book and for the impact that it started, to create. We had a launch in India, which went really well, in Italy, in Pakistan, and now, this show is actually reaching out to people around the world. So it is an opportunity to really share those stories and inspire people and get, them to become, like Kaanchan was saying, the best version of themselves. So I will encourage, we just to say hello to, we have quite a lot of people watching today. So we have Brenda. Brenda is watching from, from the US. We have Sandra. She's watching from Cameroon, West Africa, and we also have Alvaro watching from Portugal, and I think it is really appreciated. We have Patricia saying that we are change makers and catalysts for change, and she's watching from from Zimbabwe. So thank you for being with us, all of you. It has been a pleasure to have you share, your insight about your chapter. Obviously, in such a short time, it's very difficult to share everything, and we don't want to share everything because we want people to buy the book and to be able to read all our stories and really get inspired and get to change their life, because at the end of the day, it's about changing their life for the best. And that's really what we're trying to do here. And I want to thank you all for taking the time to share, to share your message, to share your wisdom, and to actually, bring greatness into this show, which is all about greatness. So thank you very much. And I wish you to enjoy, the rest of your day, especially for our, beautiful co-authors in California who are starting their day very early for Sunday morning. And thank you, Isabel from Peru, for joining us. And we've lost Isilda. She was joining from Portugal, and we had Hali before joining from Pakistan. So I hope the message, I'm talking to the audience here, I hope you've really got a glimpse of what this book is all about, and please connect with the author. I'm pretty sure that you at least got connected to someone's stories here, and I encourage you again to get the book, and on Amazon. It's available on Amazon. And we thank again PRACI GUPTA for bringing us all together and for delivering on this masterpiece that will change the world. So thank you very much. And I will be back for another episode, 2 episodes of the Greatness Engineering Hour show next week, Friday and Sunday. And we will be going to Tampa, Florida. So thank you very much, and see you all next week.